Welcome to Networking Arizona with host Carol Blonder. You'll hear interviews with businesses located throughout the valley. Networking, it makes a difference.
If I traded it all.
Welcome to the show, everyone. You know, I talk about everybody else but me on my show. And what I love about it, and I know I say it a lot, you're going to come right up to that. I absolutely love the information that people get to hear and how they get to hear different people and all the sorts of things of what they do. Maybe it's for you. Maybe it's someone that you know. You tell them about them. That's what networking is all about. We are live on Facebook, so I do want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We'll share the show later on. My first guest is Vivian Enders, and she is the founder and owner of Modern Strategy. You want to tell everybody investments. I want to say, does it come with the investments as well? I just want to make sure I say it correctly. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Being that you're a woman and that you're in the financial world like this, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do and what makes you different.
So my name is Vivian Enders. I am a financial advisor. I do own my own firm, Modern Strategy Investments, and I became a financial advisor about 9 years ago. I had recently had a job loss where I had lost my job. I was about 8 months pregnant at the time. And I had walked into a financial advisor's office with a 3-month-old baby on my hip, wanting to roll over my IRA, and he was like, "Who manages this?" And I was like, "I do." So he was like, "Okay, well, have you ever thought of becoming a financial advisor?" And I was like, a little bit, you know, it's what my degree is in. And he's like, "I'll put you in front of the right people." And so I had thought long and hard, and there weren't a lot of women in the financial industry at all, right? It's a very male-oriented industry, and so I decided to kind of take the leap and make a career change. And so I started working with a lot of women, business owners, retirees, on financial planning and helping educate them on the differences between managing debt, estate planning, investment planning, retirement planning, education planning.
And you've been doing it quite some time now, and you don't just work with women, right? But I said to you before you came on, women probably tend to resonate with working with women, but you know, you don't have to be a woman to work with her.
Right. So I do work with a lot of women, and for whatever reason, it just kind of fell into place when I became a financial advisor, right? Working with women, kind of understanding where they're at. I can understand their mothers, right? They're working, their time is valuable. We're constantly being pulled in 100 different directions, and business owners are the same way. And so, especially if there's a life-changing event such as a death in the family, or if there is a retirement, something that education for kids, something that changes in their life. And so a divorce, that's a huge one. Yeah. And so trying to work with them on navigating those different scenarios that happen.
You know, before you came on, I was going to ask you about financial planning, and a lot of people think that they have to have a lot of money for that, right? Or you're going to be older, and now you're going to be taking your money and saying, "I'm going to put it in the market. I'm going to buy this IRA or whatever." But you said it's not all that.
No. Financial planning, really what that is taking a look at, one, where you're at today, right? So everyone's situation is so unique and it is so different. So when we take a look at someone, we want to establish what your short-term goals are, right? And that might be a vacation or an emergency fund, that might be paying down debt. And then take a look at what are your longer-term goals, right? And these things can be affecting anyone from someone who's 20 to someone who, you know, could be 75 or 80. Everyone's situation is so different. And so we take a look at really what it is that you want to do, what you want to accomplish, and breaking it down to how to help you get there.
And you actually do help people who are just basically, you know, maybe starting out, having a financial advisor actually help you. You have said some things before, you know, creating a financial budget, right? So that you can have retirement fund, right?
Yes.
Also, how about debt management? You talked a little bit about that. And establishing an emergency fund, you also said. And I don't think I've ever had a financial advisor kind of talk about these things, but I love that you are, because you just mentioned something really important. There are people out there, especially women, I'm going to say this, that maybe all of a sudden there's a divorce, right? And you haven't been doing any of that. Or now you have to start over. Mm-hmm. But you want to make sure you're older, you have children, and you want to make sure that they're being taken care of. You can handle that.
Yeah, and that's really important. Like when we're working with people, one of the things is I sit down and I establish a baseline, right? So what do you have in savings currently? What is your overall expenses each and every month? Do you have an emergency plan? What happens if you lost your job or if you got divorced or and so we go through all of those pieces. What about insurance, right? That's also something that's really overlooked by people, is life insurance, and making sure that you have those pieces in place to ensure that you're protected, but also your family's prected.
It's so important, and you do free consultations with people. Yes. And when you hear this, I mean, of course, if you you're looking to get a financial advisor and you have a portfolio, and she'd love to help you, manage that. But also, there's people out there that are, we're working up to that, yeah. And you might want to have somebody have a financial advisor that's helping you make those right decisions. Go ahead.
And that's what it's about, right? It's about helping you kind of understand where you're at and maybe thinking through some of the impulse spending that we might do, especially Amazon makes it so easy these days.
Oh my goodness. And we just had the holidays, so it's perfect time for you to come on and talk about this.
So managing kind of your expectations on what you want and where you want to be.
So her phone number is 480-656-6476. She does free consultations, and you could check her out on her website. It's Modern Strategy Investments with an S.com. Before we go to a break, one of the things that you also wanted to do was, talk a little bit about estate planning.
Yes, estate planning. It's really funny. A lot of people think estate planning is for very wealthy people, right?
Or when you're just going to die.
Yeah, well, estate planning is really important for all individuals. An estate plan itself is going to incorporate healthcare directives, financial directives, established beneficiaries. It's really going to help make sure that the transition of when something happens, that it, doesn't have so much conflict maybe between the heirs because everything's already been decided.
So important. Wait till you hear what happened to me one day.
Everything is set up ahead of time, but it also, especially for parents with young children, it establishes guardianship for their kids and makes sure that their wishes for what they want for their children would be carried out, God forbid something happened.
Right. It's so important. And people they think of them as separate things, but you bring it together. And I think that's really important because, when you go and you get your financial, all of your, planning together, right? How about having all of that done at the same time, making sure, again, it's done right and making sure that people are protected. Again, that's really, really important. A lot of people, when they think about all of this, also think about that they're going to die. Well, you know what? Maybe you don't die, but you're incapacitated.
Yes. Well, and that's where the healthcare directives come in, right? And so that's where it's really important to make sure that we have all those pieces in place, and it helps us make sure that should something happen, we're able to make sure your wishes are carried out.
And again, making sure that they're done correctly, and that's why I would want to have a financial advisor doing my paperwork. I'm telling you now. 480-656-6476. She does free consultations. It's Modern Strategy Investments with an S.com.
When someone close to you passes, the grief can feel overwhelming. So when it comes time to make the necessary preparations for your loved one, you can rely on Angel Cremation and Burial in Mesa. Our caring and professional staff knows you're going through a lot, so we focus on helping you understand your options. You only pay for what you truly need. To learn more about our many cremation and funeral services, call 480-962-6435. 480-962-6435. angelscremationandburial.com.
Knowing every client is different, Anna von Strassenberg, CPA, PLLC, prides herself by offering ethical, accurate, and professional guidance when it comes to accounting, tax, and consulting services like tax return preparation, tax projections, proactive tax planning, IRS representation, QuickBooks, Pro Advisors, and more. For more information or to schedule a free consultation, call 480-964-4030. That's 480-964-4030. Services available year-round. ArizonaCPAs.com.
Hi, this is Darcy Bergen with Bergen Financial Group. Did you know that interest rates are the highest they've been in 2 decades? Maybe you should relook at your retirement portfolio and add fixed rates and lock them in as long as you can. Back in 1984, we sure wish we would have locked in CDs at 10%. Also, if you're close to retirement and you'd like a retirement guide or my new book, go to retirewithdarcy.com or give me a call at 480-430-2337.
Tired of paying high hourly fees when you need a plumber? With Cobra Plumbing, you get the same great service as the other guys, but you pay by the job, not the hour. So if you have a residential plumbing issue, don't wait. Call Cobra Plumbing today. Plus, our work is guaranteed. So call us today for your free estimate. Call 602-663-8432. That's 602-663-8432. To see a list of our complete service offerings, go to cobraplumbing.net.
Do you ever play the lottery? If so, you can definitely increase your odds of winning by playing through a lottery pool. The ticket costs are shared, so you pay only pennies per ticket, yet you can still win millions. This unique service is offered by PowerPick, which has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Check out this amazing deal. You can share in 105 tickets in Powerball, Pick, and Mega Millions for only $4.75. Go to easypooling.com, spelled E, the letter Z, then pooling.com. That's easypooling.com.
If you'd like your granite and marble to get back to that brand new look, call King's World of Marble. The word in the valley is if King's World of Marble can't repair it, nobody can. With 40 plus years of experience, King's World of Marble can repair, restore, and maintain all natural stone within residential and commercial spaces. The market is full of stone countertops and flooring, so King's World of Marble with a 5-star rating is truly the best to repair the damages the right way. Call 602-451-2689, 602-251-2689, or visit kingsworldofmarble.org.
If I traded it all.
So welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Vivian Enders, and she's the founder and owner of Modern Strategy Investments. And at the break, I like to talk to Facebook land out there. And one of the things that we were talking about were tips, right, that you wanted to talk about. And I asked you, what's the number one financial mistake that people made? And right away you said what? Go ahead, right in there.
Not saving and not budgeting.
Big time.
Yeah. I think everyone thinks of budget as a bad word, right? It means that we can't spend money. And that's not what a budget is intended to do. A budget is helping you understand where your money is going and how you're spending it, right?
It's making you your own financial advisor. You know, you got to know what you're doing with that money.
I think it holds us accountable, right? And we're not always perfect. Sometimes we don't always adhere to the budget perfectly and, month to month. But if we understand where our money's going, it helps us, be more conscious of what we're doing, but also not investing in 401k plans where companies do have a company match, right? Insurance, that's a huge thing. Making sure that you have enough insurance. Or another big thing that I've encountered is when people go through a life-changing event, such as a death or a divorce, and they don't update their beneficiaries on the paperwork. And that can be heartbreaking to families.
The main thing that I hear from you more and more, and I said it at the break, is, you're a mom.
I am.
And you nurture. I think you're all about nurturing your clients. It's, obviously she works with both men and women. She tends to work with women because you're a woman quite a bit. But what I love is that you help them kind of make sure that they're on their way to having that financial security, not only for them, for their families as well, and to make sure everybody is protected all in one go. But one of the things that you did say before too was you're not going to do this in one day. No. That you like to take things in increments and help people along the way.
Yeah, I think the idea of financial planning is really overwhelming to people, right? And so we want to make sure that, first of all, we're capturing your goals, your visions, and what you want. And a financial plan can incorporate anything from emergency funding, managing debt, insurance, retirement planning, estate planning, tax planning. And so there's a lot of different pieces that go into it, right? And so now I'm just overwhelmed. So we want to take it bit by bit, right? And break it into manageable pieces that we accomplish, not all in one day, but over the years, right? And each year we might focus on a different portion of what we need to get done. So that way your vision or your plan really comes to life.
I think it's so important, and especially, I know when I'm divorced, I'm also an older mom, right? But I'm the one that's taking care of my children, and I would want to know that I have that peace of mind, right? I think that's what it's all about. One of the things that I wanted to ask you when you meet with one, because you do a free consultation with people, and I want to I'm going to get your phone number out there for people, but what that really looks like when somebody, because you said a lot of people are afraid, almost to talk to a financial advisor. Not here, but that's what I love about it too. It gives people an opportunity to hear someone like you, and go, wow, that's kind of neat, and feel that. Open that door just a little bit for people. So the phone number to call, it's 480-656-6476. She does free consultations, and her website is modernstrategyinvestments.com. So why are people afraid?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Harris poll done in 2016 said that 71% of Americans are afraid to meet with a financial advisor. The idea of meeting with a financial advisor gives them about as much anxiety as going to a doctor or a dentist.
Wow. Why?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, money was a very taboo subject, right? A lot of us feel maybe judged or embarrassed about our financial situation, and so trying to open up to someone, and even a financial advisor who, right now is a complete stranger to you, there's not a lot of trust there. And so you've got to kind of understand that I'm not here to judge anyone on how they spend their money. I'm not here to tell you to stop spending your money, right? It's about kind of creating an understanding of what you're doing with your money, and is that what you want to be doing, right? And what's your vision for the future, right? So how can we help you, one, live for today, right? Because we do need to enjoy our life. We want to go on vacation and do those fun things, but also think about, well, what happens when my kids go to college? How am I going to pay for that? Or, maybe I do want to retire at 60 instead of 67. Can I do that?
Maybe you don't even know that you can retire, because a lot of people don't know their finances true. They don't really, they think they can't, and maybe they can.
Right.
I'm sure that happens quite a bit. It's all about having that consultation. But what I also love, what I hear from you, it's not necessarily that you got to have all this money and we're going to make you have this huge portfolio. I don't think that's it at all. I think what you really like is, to start with people and get them on their way to see, what are you doing now? What are your goals? And find out, how can we help you? How can I help you?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I think it's so important, right? Because everyone's at such a different stage in life, right? And so I have got clients who are 20. I have a client who actually turned 100 last year, right? Really exciting. And so there's just such a wide range of where you can be in your financial journey. And no matter what age you are, there's always an opportunity to have someone look at it and go, you know what? Am I on track? Does this make sense? Am I invested right? Am I saving the right amount? Will I be able to retire? Will I be able to put my kid through school? What about taxes, right? That's a huge thing.
I was just going to ask you, because I know we're going to get down here, but I want to ask you now that, I know 2023 is over, but is there a better time, like now the time to also start thinking about, because we always think about it by the end of the year, right? Oh, you better do this because now the year is almost over. But what about now?
Yeah, so there are several things that can be done, right? I mean, for tax efficiency purposes, like things that need to be done by year end. So for example, would be like your 529 contributions. Those give you a state benefit if you do a contribution to a 529. Or tax loss harvesting, those have to be done by year end. Gifting strategies, right? You can gift up to $15,000 to one person and be able to give it tax-free. But some other things that we may not think of that can be done prior to filing your taxes, right, could be IRA contributions. It could be some learning opportunity credits for higher education. And so there's lots of different opportunities to look at for how you can benefit from your taxes. Even withdrawal strategies for people who are retired, right? Are you best utilizing how you're taking your funds out of your, IRAs from traditional to Roth or after-tax accounts to be able to lower your taxable income and or save on taxes each year?
Well, it makes sense to speak to a financial advisor. And I love the way that you're all about education. I think that's what I'm hearing too, that you're educating, you're nurturing them, making sure that they are understanding what is it that we're doing and preparing as well.
Yeah, well, and that's the part of the free consultation, right, is really just to give you some education on what different strategies might be available to you or what options are available to you. Because, again, it's not a one-size-fits-all. And so every person's situation is so unique that what might apply to you may not apply to Susie Smith. Mm-hmm. And so we want to make sure that the advice that you're getting is going to be individual and personalized to your situation.
Modern strategy investments. And when you think about modern, though, why did you say modern?
Why did I choose modern? So I think part of it is just because a lot of people think, that it has to, they have kind of an older mentality when they think about finances, right? Mm-hmm. Like we talked earlier, money is a taboo word, right, from my parents' generation, where younger generations are a little more open when they're talking about finances. And so it's really kind of modernizing how we think about, the strategy or the investments.
Also, don't be afraid, to talk about money. And I think it's probably the number one conversation that people should be having. You also might be a single mother out there, right? Mm-hmm. Or just starting off. This is something that you want to start preparing now. Right now, there are tax advantages. I'm not a financial advisor. Advantages that you could be doing now, even before tax season, which is around the corner. You can call, I'm hearing something in my ear. The number to call her direct, write the number down. It's 480-656-6476. You could check her out on her website. It's Modern Strategy Investments with an S.com. She does free consultations. Give her a call.